Let's talk about a problem that I think a lot of us face, even when we're surrounded by tons of people. So today, we're going to break down this really innovative solution called Lattecino. It's an app that's trying to turn your daily coffee run into a chance for a real, actual connection.
And it all kicks off with this idea, which is so true, right? I mean, just think about it. We have hundreds, maybe thousands of connections online, but out in the real world, that feeling of being alone can be pretty intense. Lattecino is built to bridge that exact gap. And the scale of this problem, it's just massive. We're talking millions of us every single day, sitting by ourselves in coffee shops, surrounded by all these potential friends or collaborators that we just never meet. We're all in our own little bubbles. And that creates what you could call the paradox of the modern cafe. I mean, these places are supposed to bring people together, they're buzzing with energy, but a lot of the time, they actually make us feel more isolated. We're all together, but we're completely apart. This whole idea didn't just come out of nowhere. It was born from a really personal experience. The founder, Michael, he was a solo traveler, and he felt this exact disconnect everywhere he went. From Paris to Tokyo, he'd be sitting in these awesome, busy cafes, surrounded by interesting people, and yet totally alone. And, it wasn't just about feeling lonely. It was about all the missed opportunities. He'd look over at the next table and wonder, hey, is that the developer I've been looking for? Is that a future co-founder? Maybe even a new travel buddy? All that potential was right there, but there was just no easy way to connect. So this led him to ask a pretty fundamental question. Why do we really go to coffee shops? Is it just for the caffeine and the Wi-Fi? Or is there something deeper going on? This unspoken need for community? And let's be honest, there's another frustrating part of this whole thing. Just finding the right cafe to work from is a total gamble, right? You're crossing your fingers for good Wi-Fi and a decent vibe, but half the time you end up with the exact opposite. And here's the key insight. All the current apps, they're pretty good at solving the place problem. They'll find you a cafe, no problem. But they do absolutely nothing about the people problem. They get you to a great spot and then just leave you there on your own. Okay, so this is where Lattecino comes in. It's designed to be that bridge, the bridge between your coffee and your next great connection. It's built to solve both the place and the people problem at the same time. So what is it exactly? Well, the official description is a digital connection layer. What that really means is it adds this social interactive element on top of the physical coffee shop, turning it from just a building into a potential hub for a community. Need a simpler way to think about it? It's kind of like a super localized version of LinkedIn. It's all about professional and social connections, but, and this is the key, it only shows you the people who are right there, in the same room as you. So here's how Lattecino tackles both problems head-on. On one side, it helps you find great places by rating cafes on all the stuff we care about, like Wi-Fi and the general vibe. But on the other, and this is the game changer, it helps you meet the great people who are already there. And the process? It's so simple. First, you use the app to discover a great cafe. Second, you open it up and see who else is there. And third, you finally have a real reason to break the ice and start a conversation. It keeps the profiles simple on purpose, focusing on just 3 key questions. What's your name? What do you do? And then, here is the magic ingredient. What do you need help with? That last one is the key that can spark some real collaboration. Okay, but I can hear you asking, what about those days when you just need to put your headphones on and get some work done? What if you don't want to be bothered? That's a totally fair question. The answer is just as simple as the app itself. You just flip a switch. Boom. You can go completely invisible whenever you want. You are always in control. No pressure. Ever. And yeah, privacy is absolutely core to how this thing is designed. You've got that go invisible mode, but there's also something called selective discovery. This lets you control who can even see you. So maybe you only show up for people who have skills you're actually looking for. So who is this really built for? Well, the core audience is pretty clear. We're talking digital nomads who are always on the move, creators looking for their next collaborator, and freelancers who've basically made the local cafe their office. It's for anyone who craves a little community with their caffeine. Ultimately, the whole vision is to deliver on this one simple, but honestly, pretty powerful promise, turning that simple act of buying a coffee from just a transaction into a genuine, meaningful connection.
If this idea gets you excited, you should definitely head over to their website to check it out and sign up for early access. You could be one of the very first people to help shape what this community looks like. And all of this leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In our world of constant digital noise and notifications, maybe, just maybe, the future of real community isn't some new app that keeps us staring at our screens. Maybe it's one that finally gives us a reason to look up and just say hello.